So I want to show the data that's used in this demo first. The first thing being the BC boundary. This was taken from Statistics Canada. Next is the temperature values were from the BC data catalog. So the date and time for these temperature values is October 1st at 5 p.m. So this would have been during trick-or-treating time. So we're going to use the Kriging Spatial Analyst tool to interpolate a raster surface from temperature points. The final output will be a temperature map showing what the temperature was like during trick-or-treating this year in the province of British Columbia. The first thing we want to do is make sure that the Python compatibility is set to Esri ArcGIS. You also want to make sure that you have a valid ArcGIS license on your machine. And next, we're going to open the Python caller here, and then just take a look at this script. So you want to copy the ArcPy script and put it in the input method. You want to also make sure that you import the ArcPy module. And then the class to process feature should also be set to your class name. So in this case, the class name is Kriging, so you just want to make sure that's set. And then lastly, you want to remember to expose the attribute you created. So in this case, it would be output raster. You just want to make sure that's exposed there at the bottom. So now we can select OK and then run this transformer. This may take a few seconds to run here. So now that is finished, we're going to use a feature reader to read in the raster dataset that was created. So you want to set the format to file geodatabase raster dataset and then select the dataset there. And then finally, for feature types to read, you want to select the name you saved it as in the Python caller and then click OK. So we're just going to run that here. So once we read that in, we get the raster image that was created by that ArcPy script. And then the last thing I've done here was just set up a few raster transformers to create different colors associated with those temperature values. So we want to run the rest of the workspace just to show the final result here. So yeah, anywhere starting in the purple areas was roughly below 3 degrees Celsius, which is about 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Once you start getting into the darker purples, the temperature was around -5 degrees Celsius, so that's about 23 degrees Fahrenheit. So the kids who were trick-or-treating here most likely needed a winter coat over their Halloween costumes. So the regions along the coast and then towards the south saw warmer temperatures with the highest at just over 10 degrees Celsius, which equals about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, it was a little bit cold across the province for us this year for Halloween, but those of us in the southern coastal regions experienced more mild weather.